What's going on, Tamers? It's your boy Dan from DigiGuard United, bringing you guys another meta snapshot. I feel like I haven't done these in a while or something like that, so you're gonna be getting a lot of these coming from me pretty soon. So today's we have is Tag Games June Online Ultimate Cup. We have 81 players. We even got an archetype breakdown, not just a top 16. So 15 Numa, 10 Imperial, 9 Mirage, 8 Yellow Vaccine, 7 Tyrant, 6 Magna X, and 26 other. Pretty cool that we got that. Hopefully future events we get archetype breakdown more often to see how what decks really came in, what's the the percentages of decks that topped and whatnot and stuff. It's pretty cool to see. But winner, once again, Numemon, best deck in the format. It's been dominating our BT16 format / EX6 format coming up. It's pretty crazy to see. With that being said, it was only 3 Numa, 4 Mirage, so Mirage is coming back. Mirage is still a good deck. Even though Numemon's been winning a lot, you can still see Mirage doing a lot of damage in tournaments again. 3 Magna X, 2 Yellow Vaccine, 1 Belfemon. Can't really talk about that one. Loop, Tyrant, and Sylphymon, which is pretty cool to see as well. First up, we're gonna run into the Numemons. We're gonna knock these out dumb quick because we already know what the deal is. Black base Numemon, best deck in the format, best version of Numemon in my opinion. This is Litao Chen first place deck list. We're gonna look through and see anything that's different. Nope. You got your usual suspects in Numemon deck list next. Next, we have a second place Mark Mithril Numemon. Anything different here? No. Nope. We're running the Chaosmon, which is pretty cool. Chaosmon, you can do some shenanigans in this deck because you have the double plat. You can DNA with it if you need to. If you have 2 plat Numemons on board, you can also Digivolve over them normally, and you gain the effects anyways of the Digivolve. So natively, he has barrier plus blocker. If you DNA, you have the partition effect as well. His one Digivolve effect is not a DNA Digivolve, so you get to Digivolve 3, and then one of your opponent's Digimon then gains neg 8k to the end of their turn, which is pretty cool. Opponent's turn, trash the top card of both players' security stack. So, it's pretty strong. You're really going to see this. It's probably a niche thing that sometimes pops up, and if it does, great. If not, oh well, because it's Numemon, you're just going bomb rush them anyways. So pretty cool. Next Numemon deck list we're going to talk about is it is 12th place Sean Pierce Numemon. Let's see, nothing crazy. He's not running the Edamon, he's running the old school War Mazimon play. This card is still really good. It's just the Edamon Vol combo is just so strong. Like, why would you not run it? War Mazimon lets you Digivolve off something and then be able to stun your opponent from attacking. Then we got this interesting card right here. I haven't seen this card in God knows how long. So Blast Fire for 4 costs, main. Change the original DP of one of your opponent's Digimon to 3000 until the end of your opponent's turn. Easy way to neg DP, I guess. If they're too strong and you think you can't deal with it, like maybe Magna X, you could neg DP and just immediately kill it after you play it. Interesting tech choice. I wonder how well that did for him. But the rest of the deck is just Numemon, so you already know. Next we got is Magna X. This is 3rd place Nicholas Slack's Magna X deck. Interesting enough that I feel like we see blue base do better than we do yellow vaccine armors and the amount of tops and stuff, which is interesting. But yeah, it's Magna, so there's nothing really to talk about anymore. We already know it's a pretty much solved deck when you come to like Vemon armors version. You got your searchers, you got your promo, you got the 2k buff, you got Zoodle Ace sometimes, you got all your Magnas, Magna X, 2 Death X, and then the array of options that let you either proc your own effects for Magna X to protect itself, or ways to get into it for cheap like Awakening, ways to do more aggro damage, Final Zubon Punch. Heaven's Judgment, because why not, as a busted card when it comes to Magna X. Blue Mem Boost, Searcher, gain memory, and your Davis Tamers and Shu Yulin for more damage as well. Next Magna X deck we have is 6th place Alan Koo deck list. This was a little bit different than usual suspect of Magna. He's running the Lydramon, which is interesting. So when Digivolve, you can suspend one of your opponent's Digimon. That's level 4 or lower, I believe it is. He's also running the old school Shaku DNA. Yeah, I don't know. That's so weird. I mean, it's cool. It's a cool card, right? So when Digivolve, if you have 5 of your security, recover 1. If you're DNA, then you can return one of your opponent's Digimon whose level is less than or equal to the number of cards in your security stack to his own hand, which isn't bad at all. Good way of removal. And then Inherited has one of your opponent's Digimons gets -3k for the turn when attacking. Always really good. And then other tech cards he's running. This is a really teched out deck list. Obviously, Magna X, Jessamon GX lets you do crazy damage in 1 turn potentially. You could do like 3-4 checks in 1 turn with this card. Use Evo over the Magna X. Gain another Magna X or any other Magnamons. You can potentially get the protection going, and it's an unkillable Jessamon GX, which is crazy. He has Blitz, he has Piercing, he has Blocker, he has Second Attack +1 natively. He gets Second Attack +1 for each Digivolution card that has Royal Knights in his traits. So you get that really strong aggro play going. It's pretty cool. And then Dex, Blinding Ray, X-Anybody, Laplace's Demon. Again, this deck is a lot more teched out than your usual Magna X deck. So this allows you choose one of your opponent's Digimon, and they start a main phase, they have to attack. So you potentially attack into making force and attack into the Magna X if you need to, or maybe even purposely attack into the security and proc the Magna X protection as well, which is something that's possible as well. And your usual options: Davis, and Ken. Play your V monster potentially for free. Since he has this Shakumon, you can DNA with it, and then you won't lose the Digimon back. You won't lose the Digimon, which is pretty cool. And then Shu Yulin, that's a standard one of it seems like in the deck nowadays. Get that Alliance, more aggro going for it. Next is 10th place, Ben Abbott's Magna X. This is again back to your usual standard list. The only difference is he's running this Vmon jamming. I feel like it's not necessary nowadays, but hey, you know, chip damage is always really good, so it's not that bad of a play in my opinion. Next is the Mirages, that top 4 of them. So we got 4th place, Din. That's a name right there. Again, it's Mirage. We already know what it does. The only difference is they run this Magalga as a higher number because of the blockers we have in this format and redirects. Anything else, it's pretty same. Mirage again. So we have 7th place, Joseph Reyes. Nothing different here. Ice Wall, the only change really. Again, we already know what Mirage does, right? Build a stack, OTK people, add cards to your hand, gain memory, shenanigans, you know. So, you know, strong deck still. Next we have is Christopher Ray, 13th place Christopher Reyes, Mirage list. Only thing I see difference is Jellymon, which is surprising. So anyone doesn't know what this card does, your turn once per turn when you play blue team and draw 1. So if this is on board, you get a draw, which is cool. And it has an inheritable. When effect adds a card to your hand, return one of your opponent's level 3 Digimon to his own hand. So potentially get rid of annoying floodgates to stop your opponent, and it also can bounce Ukomons, which is really good as well. But besides that, everything else is usual. Your hybrid, your Magalgas, Mirage. Options, great. You already know what it does, right? 14th place, Wesley Sanchez, Mirage deck list. Only difference is this Amphi Ace. Amphi Ace lets you potentially get rid of problematic things sometimes. So, you know, Blast Digivolve, obviously. On play, when Digivolving, you may trash up to 4 blue cards in your hand. For each one, trash any 1 card under your opponent's Digimon or Tamers, then return one of the Digimon or Tamers without cards under his hand to his hand. So, you know, a way to bounce. When attacking mode, return 3 cards with Jellymon and text from your trash. Second attack +1. You're never going to get that effect, but you'll get the on play one Digivolving effect, which, you know, sometimes may come up. But everything else, the same. Next we have is 5th place, Belfemon. This is the Belfemon and Apocalymon deck that's starting to run around. I need to try this myself because I'm super interested in it. I love both decks. So combining them sounds pretty fun to me. Whole gist of it, right? you have these Ukos. You can you got Proto Gizmon, Gizmon, and XT. Ways to trash your Dark Masters, since you're running a small amount. Plus, you know, obviously Rage mode you want to trash, and then get to your Astamon plays. Get into your Sleep mode, obviously Rage mode, blah blah. You can even Evo over it if you need to with Apocalymon, but preferably not. Obviously, the best combo to deck is going to be when you go Apocalymon, get your 3 Dark Masters underneath, add Sleep mode end of turn, Sleep mode effect, add Rage mode underneath, and I think against the protection effect, I don't remember. I said your opponent's turn, Digimon can't attack and is affected by your opponent's effects, correct. So that's pretty cool. That Apocalymon gets protection for that turn, which is pretty cool. So then, you know, you're doing, can you get out? You're gonna be milling 3 10 cards in total, because you got the 3 from the Dark Master, so 2, 4, 6. You add Sleep mode, that's 8. Sleep mode's effect, add Rage mode, that's 10 mils instantly. And you know, next turn if that survives, which it will, you could potentially add another Sleep mode effect, add Rage mode. You get my point. Like, if you have all that, you're gonna be gaming them pretty quickly if you see Apocalypse as soon as possible. Pretty crazy. Then you have Lament Friendship that lets you grab your Pokemon too if it dies, which is pretty cool, or anything else as a Digimon, and lock you to help support getting there. Akihiro is always a must in Belfemon, being able to tuck him, pop a level 6, and in your opponent's turn, draw 1, trash 1. So you have ways to facilitate to draw trash going in this deck. That's why this deck seems to work well together. These 2 decks work well together. And then Digimon Emperor, slow down your opponent's Ukos, because you might be a little slow at the gate sometimes, you know, potentially to set up your plays. And then Matt, you know, you're a trashing deck. So Matt's a pretty good memory tamer, plus effect, trash card, gain of memory. So you go to 4 instantly. Really, really good. It's a really cool deck. It's glad to see it topping. Next we have is Lilith Loop. Now this is more of the what's called Mummy Loop version, where you're looping the Numemon, Arukenimon plus the Arukenny and Mummymon, because Arukenny and Mummymon lets you play your Mummy and Arukenimons for 3. For 1 of them, if you have 2 of them, it could be potentially free, and then you gain cool effects like Arukenimon lets you search top 5, trash 2 cards as purple, bottom deck the rest. Mummymon lets you draw 2, trash 2. You have your Gazi and Ukos, because Ukos is necessary. Get your trash facilitated with the Debbie Marrows as well. And then once you get to that point where you're able to loop, you go Lilithmon, you go crazy, gain a whole bunch of memory, pop off. You have ways to get there pretty cheap. You have Death Slingers, Pummel Whack, cards to trash. Death Slinger you don't want to trash, but a way to pop things, you know. And mill maybe. I don't think this is considered milling, so reveal top 5, trash top. Yeah, I don't think so. It's just a way to get rid of something that's potentially annoying. And then you just pop off, and then you get to the Cherubimon. If you Evo over one of the Arukenimon and Mummymons off the Arukenny and Mummymon effect, it will die at the end of turn. And so, cool thing about this card is on deletion for each tamer you have in play, you may play 1 level 3 Digimon card from your trash while paying its memory cost. So if you have a crap ton of tamers on board, so you have multiple like Arukenny, Alice, Mad or something, like let's say you have 4 of them, you could bring out, you know, 4 Ukos or a Gazimon, and then the following turn you just bum rush them with it and stuff. Really, really cool combo you can do. And then obviously Room mode. Room mode's there, kind of like how the Lilith Loop version is, right? You just get there, pop off, get a bunch of memory. Room mode, chill out, just let them, you know, die, kill everything on board basically. It's a really, really cool deck. This is a deck that you need practice with, because there's so many lines, different ways to get there. Know when to do the pop-off plays and stuff. It's really, really pilot-oriented, like we say, type of deck. So really cool to see him top with it. Next we have is Yellow Vaccine. This is 9th place Jason Preslisky, Yellow Vaccine. We know what the Yellow Vaccine Armors does. We already know what it looks like. You're gonna have all your Rapids plus Gold Vidramon as your 4s. You got Magna and your Ace as your low 5s. Pata does God's work in this deck. Pata plus TK is the busted combo. You already know. Kuda for searching. Pillowmon stop opponents playing Digimon by effects. Uko, the one Uko for that search if you need it. Cubemon also stops reduce evolutions. 4 Magnus, 3 Rapid X's. We kind of already know what the deal when it comes to this deck. Rumo decks, Emissary, Awakening, Heaven's Judgment, Digimon Emperor, TK, Shu Yulin. Yeah, it's just Yellow Vaccine Armor is just a wall that just chills there and you don't do really much with it. I do like the inclusion on the Shu, so you get a little bit more aggression with this version of the deck. With his version, I should say, which is really cool. But yeah, it's the giant wall that never dies, it feels like. Next we have is 15th place Dylan Trans Yellow Vaccine. This is your usual, again, nothing crazy. Uko, Pata, you already know. TKs, Physical Training, Emissary, Awakening, Heaven's Judgment. You already know what it does. We just basically talked about the same deck just before. Next we have is 11th place Jacob Monk Tyrant. Love Tyrant. This is probably the better version of Tyrant, having the Kuwagamons in my opinion. I know that we saw some others that wasn't running the Kuwaga package. So Kuwagamon plus Kuwaga X always has that piercing. Loogamon for her alliance to get more damage going. Rondo Kapateri is pretty good because you're allowed to, when attacking, swing. When you swing, Evo into Tyrant for 3 less, I believe it is. Question mark. Reduce cost by 2. So it becomes a 4 cost Evo for Tyrant, which isn't too bad. Tyrant can play, you know, your Sylphymon, your Grand Kuwaga Ace, any other your Digimon that's Insectoid, you already know. Get that Tyrant out, suspended, attack over things with end of turn attack with Modimon, bottom deck things. Tyrant's unkillable by Digimon effects, you know, really good. Tyrant plus Shiva equals no options either, which is good. And then he has his option lineup: HPD, Agility, Double Typhoon, Green Men Boost, Giant Missile, and an Izzy. This deck needs its searches as much as possible, so that's why he's running Agility Trainings, Double Typhoon, Green Men Boost. You need all that for this deck, feels like. And the one Giant Missile if you need it, right? Hopefully it's in security and you don't have to actually play it, but if you do, sometimes, you know, get rid of the board presence. So it's cool to see Tyrant topping because it's one of my favorite decks in BT16. And finally, we have a 16th place Sean Gooden's Sylphymon deck. This is the first Sylphymon top, I believe. Really cool to see this deck topping. So let's talk about it, right? We got rookie lineup. We got the promo Hawkmon. This card is so necessary in this deck as a 4 of. It searches your whole deck basically. So real top 3 cards in this deck. Add 1 red or yellow card with 2 more colors in it and 1 team with Yoli in it. And then inheritable end of turn DNA. Really good. So this deck runs 4 Yoli and Kari. So this card is unnecessary for anyone who doesn't know. It's basically your Davis Canada deck. Starting main phase, play Hawk or Sala. Then when you Evo to red yellow, gain a memory. If DNA, then -3k to one of your opponent's Digimon. That can combo off with Sylphymon with all the Negan and Belfemon to get rid of problematic Digimon potentially. Really good. This new Belfemon is really good card too as well. So this is from BT15. Cool card. So start your main phase by trashing 1 Digimon card with Avian, Bird, Beast, Animal, Sovereign. Other than Sea Animal, you can search the top 4 cards of your deck, add 1 red card among them, return the rest of the bottom. And then inherited, once per turn, 1 card is removed from your opponent's security stack, gain a memory. So another way to search is really good in the deck. This Sylphymon lets you Evo into a yellow, a free or a holy beast for 1 cost, which is really good from trash. So, you know, that Biomon can potentially set you up for these plays. Ukomon, searching good. The new Godomon is pretty solid, has barrier on body, and then by trashing 1 card in your hand, return 1 level 6 with lower 2-color Digimon. So you can recycle your Evolk Aces if you need to, or even Magna X, as you see he's playing. Oguni, Hyper for game. Harpymon and Lynxmon are really solid armors in the deck. I see why he's running so much more armors, because he's running the Digi-know B plus the Magna X, so they work in tandem with him. Harpymon lets you, when you swing and take out security, gain a memory if you have 3 or more security, and if you have 2 or less, recover 1. Really good solid effect. If you're able to get second type plus 1 on this, you can proc the effect twice, which is really cool. Lynxmon allows you to have raid, and then when Digivolving one of your opponent's Digimon gets -3k for the turn. Then you're level 5. He's running old school Sylphymon, which is interesting. This lets you, one of your opponent's Digimon gets -5k, then when DNA is Digivolving, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 5k or less. Inherited, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 5k or less. So, you know, a way to, you know, get rid of things as well. It's just not as good as New Sylphy, because New Sylphy is cracked, as you probably know. Cracked for the deck, or just, let me rephrase, cracked for the deck, right? So when Digivolving in DNA, next 7 something, and then when Digivolve when attacking, delete something that's 4k or less, and then inherit a partition. Really good effects. With all the neck DP can do, you can pop almost anything on board. And then Dino B is really good in this deck, because this lets you obviously DNA. You're gonna have to DNA with Gatomon as your choice, and then any of the Harpy or Lynxmon. This allows you to play a low 5 or lower free Digimon type from your hand, gain rush, so you can play one of those armors out. You can play Dino B, you can play Loogamon as well. You have a lot of choices in this deck to play out, and then partition as well. And he has raid himself, so it's not bad as well. Low 6s, Volk Ace and Magna X. We already know what both of them do when we talk about it. Wings of Love lets you play Soar or grab a Tamer or something like that. You may play 1 red Tamer with a play cost 4 or less from your hand. If his Tamer with Soar in his name, return 1 Digimon card from the trash to the hand, which then could proc the Soar to play stuff. When a Digimon card returns from the trash to the hand, but returns its Tamer to the hand, you may play 1 13k DP or lower bird, blah 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 from your hand, and then for each opponent's security, you remove 2k from it. So you're able to play your Sylphymons, I believe, question mark. Beastkin, no, you cannot. Maybe because it's a beast. Maybe Volk Ace as well. Warrior, no. So definitely playing your Lynxmon, Harpymon, Gatomon, maybe. You get to play some stuff, not too much. It's also a memory tamer, so it's always good. Awakening, because he's running the Magna X, makes sense. Beastly Storm lets you play Gato or Apocalymon for free, and then you can DNA, and then you're allowed to attack after with second attack plus 1. Revelation is late, solid card. Crimson Blaze, stop those things, and Yoli, as we mentioned earlier. Really cool to see this deck being top as well. Hopefully we see more of it in the future. But with that being said, that is it for this meta snapshot. If you guys like to see more of this type of content, please let us know. Subscribe, hit that like button as well. Leave us in the comment of what deck you like to see most that top in this region. With that being said, or Otix I should say. With that being said, I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.